This is a review on the installation of the Shad SH35 side cases and the 3P racks. So what you get is a whole bunch of nuts and bolts, so you can replace all the original fittings. You get a spare key barrel, so in case you bugger up one of the key barrels. 2 spare keys. What you need is a 6mm Allen key to undo the OEM bolts for the mounting points, and you'll need a 5mm Allen key to be able to put on all the new nuts and bolts that come with the fittings. You get a little review on the Shad cases and the details on those, and you also get an instruction leaflet which pretty much gives you from where to go of all the mountings, how to put them on, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So far, having gone over it, it looks very simple and straightforward, which is one of the reasons why I bought this rack in the first, these racks and these bags in the first place. Just having a look at the racks, the welds are all pretty good. You've got a couple of welds underneath there, and these points as well. So the construction looks pretty damn solid, and the welds look pretty good, and the powder coating's also pretty damn good too. So anyway, let's get on with installing them, and then I'll explain a little bit about the boxes as well. So the fitting points here and here, which is just your OEM mounts. Thank you very much, Yamaha, well thought through. And this bracket here is just going to go onto the foot peg mount. Obviously got to start with removing the OEM bolt mounts. So there's our 3 OEM bolts out. Let's start with this one at least. So this is the big one with a big spacer and 1 washer. Personally, I think it's probably a good idea. Use a little bit of Loctite on these 2 bolts. There is already Loctite residue in the thread of these 2, so I think they'll be fine. Both of these OEM bolts on your passenger foot peg have to come off. So your 2 mounting points on the top of the subframe here. Your big washer, big spacer at the back here, small spacer and big washer, which is identical to these 2. Get to put your OEM silver spacers back in before you put your bolts back in there. If you have a look on this side, I'll put them back in. That wasn't in the instructions, but clearly you need to have the silver OEM spacers back in there. The next part we need to do is, with one of the 4 bolts and washers, we need to use a spacer at the back here so that it matches the frame here. I think the boxes and racks are rated at about 20 kilograms each side, so don't muck around with cranking these up. Don't be afraid of doing them up too tight. Okay, so that's our rack mounted. Another reason I decided to go for these racks and bags is because they are really quite tidy. If you haven't got the boxes on, the racks don't detract from the lines of the bike. You haven't got great big racks coming down here like you do on a lot of boxes that are on the market these days. So there we go, that's one side. The other side's obviously exactly the same. So let's just see how this rack fits on there. The box fits on there. I've never really been a big fan of Shad, and these are the first Shads that I've bought, but they seem really robust, incredibly well made actually. So this is called 3P racks, 3 points of mounting. You've got one point here, here, and the other point here that fits into your racks, and you've got this lever here which cradles underneath that rack. So let's just have a look how that fits on. Being new, they're a pretty tight fit, and that's it. And that actually is pretty damn solid. One of the other things that I do like about these is when you do take the boxes off, pretty straightforward. Carry handle, off you go. Your racks here don't detract from the lines of the bike, and actually acts like a crash bar as well for most of your rear end. You can see it protrudes out beyond your swing arm, so it's going to protect a lot of your bike if you end up throwing it down the road. So that's another big plus for these racks. Having just installed them, things I do like: price, pretty good. Build quality, looks pretty good. Simplicity, excellent. I think the 3P system, 3 points of contact, looks like a pretty good system. I think the racks are really simple to install, but look to be incredibly robust. When you haven't got the boxes on there, I think the racks are going to provide quite a bit of protection for the bike if you go down as well. I like the ease of lifting up the handle, unclipping the box, being able to get at the contents quite easily. Pretty simple and easy. I like the fact that you can just lock it, it's secure to the bike, no one can steal your stuff. Things I don't like: when you look at it from behind, I think it's bulbous. I don't know why they taper the boxes out and around like that. I'd much prefer the box to be bigger here and taper in here. Anyway, that's just the way that they are. I would have preferred the SW Motec Yamaha MT10 bags. You can't get them here and they're pretty expensive, and what I've also been told is that SW Motec is not making them any longer. Anyway, these look to be able to do the job pretty well. We'll find out. Next review will be out in the field in the pissing rain and on a long trip, and we'll just see how they go. Alright, see you next time.